Hey guys, it's Suzy down here from the Peach State. I'm in Georgia. Hope you're enjoying wherever you are as we're learning through remote learning, trial by fire, how to use different tools. Well, tonight is actually semi-related to Canvas. I'm going to mention Canvas, but we're going to talk about the immersive reader that is in so many tools and is a game and life changer. I referred to it in a previous video on accessibility in my Canvas for Littles series, so feel free to go back and watch all the ways you can make Canvas accessible. But I thought by viewer request and by popular demand, I would take you on a little detour into the Immersive Reader, which is a Microsoft tool, but is built into Canvas and a lot of other products. Let's go for it. So Immersive Reader is basically a reading assistant. It helps students in a lot of different ways. But before we get into all the features, I want to show you where you can find it. And the very last segment of this video is going to tell you all the places you can find it, give you interactive tutorials. I'm just giving you a little snippet of it tonight and its main features and a couple places that I enjoy finding it. So one of those places is Word Online. I'm in Word, but the online version. And I go up to the View menu. And I can have any document open, or I could just type and go into this view menu. And then you'll see right here, the signal for Immersive Reader is a book with a speaker on top of it. So I click Immersive Reader, it takes just a minute, and it goes into this alternate viewing experience. Again, we're going to talk about all the features in just a minute, but I wanted you to see that it goes into this alternate viewing experience and will allow me to process text differently than just reading it on a page. Removes distractions, has a bunch of reading features that we will dive into in just a minute. Immersive Reader is such a great tool that companies who have no affiliation with Microsoft whatsoever have purchased it. Like I've seen it in Nearpod. Flipgrid's now a Microsoft product, but it integrated into Flipgrid. I mean, just lots of places you'll go find it, including Canvas LMS. And so on a page in Canvas, you'll find Immersive Reader. Again, I talk more about this on my accessibility video in the Canvas for Littles series. But when you click Immersive Reader, again, it gives us that distraction-free view with lots of features. I'm going to talk more about those features in the next clip. But again, it has to be on a page, and then you're going to find the book with the speaker, Immersive Reader, and your students can do that for themselves in Canvas LMS. So I'm back in Word again, just to remind you that you can go to the View menu, Immersive Reader. But before we get into all the features, can I just say that I have seen personally, I have witnessed in the districts I've supported how life-changing, that is not an overestimation of what Immersive Reader can do. It is a life-changing tool. I have met the mother of a 4th grade student who, worked in the same building with him. Her child almost could not read. And after using Immersive Reader, it was seriously life-changing. Microsoft actually came and filmed a documentary in that school. I want to give a shout out to Sandy Adams, if she ever watches any of these, but she's a trainer who brought me into a lot of Microsoft tools. And it was amazing because she had mentored this teacher who used this tool with her kids. And y'all, when I say that it was life-changing, we saw a kid who could not read in the 4th grade go to where he actually was not embarrassed. He could go to the library and pick out books and read them. And I think it was featured even like in Better Homes and Gardens magazine. I mean, he was featured in several different places. But it is a life-changing tool. They don't pay me any money to say that, but I get chills every time I go back and watch that commercial because I'm like, I actually know this kid. I know this teacher. This is real evidence. And so how do you turn on or use this life-changing tool? So again, I'm going to click Immersive Reader anywhere I can find it on any tool on the internet where I see it. And when I do, here are the options that I have. One thing is it'll just read to me.
A class-divided documentary.
And the original document was a table, but it was able to pull that in. It has this very distracting yellow background. I think I just did that. I was playing with it in another training, so I'll fix that in just a minute. But the student themselves, if they are signed in on a Windows device, I know for sure, I don't know about other devices, but if they're signed in on a Windows device, then they can customize Immersive Reader how they want it, and it'll follow their login. So that's why it's remembering yellow for me, because I was signed in using yellow before. It will remember their login. It will track wherever they go. So one thing they can do for themselves, this is a tool that a kid can, set up for him or herself, is they can go to voice settings and they can, say, make it go a little bit faster, make it a male voice.
Portion. Key moments observed in the film.
So I'm thinking of this not just for kids who have a legitimate, reading concern, but maybe a kid who has dyslexia. That's one of the things it was invented for, and that's why the words are spaced out. Students with dyslexia struggle with visual crowding, so you'll notice there are spaces between the words by default. But not just kids with dyslexia, not just kids with a diagnosed reading disability or comprehension issues, but what about young readers who just can't read the text yet? What about students who struggle to focus? You're like, honey, I need you to finish reading this in 10 minutes. And they've been staring at it the whole time. Then turn on the Immersive Reader. They can do it. It puts the power in their hands. So it's for a bunch of different kids. Offer it to every kid and see what they do with it. Over to on the top right are where more settings are going to be. And the students, again, control these. They can do what they need to do with it. So text preferences are the 2 A's. They can come in, they can adjust text size. So think about your students with visual impairments. This could also be a tool for them that they manage. If they need the increased spacing, it's on by default. If they don't, they can turn that off. They also have 3 fonts here. Did you know that the old throwback Comic Sans from way back in the 90s was actually a really good font for students to be able to read easily? So they can control their font. They can control their theme. I prefer the straight up white. But if they, have visual issues or just like it better, they could do a dark theme. Dark background with light text actually shows up really well for kids. And then I don't know really why you would use these other colors, but they're the boss. Source formatting, I never really messed with that, but I guess it's making it bolder or something. I don't know. I've never touched that button in my life. The middle ones are grammar options. So for students who have comprehension issues, it will actually chunk the text in different ways. You can turn on different parts of speech to chunk it, or you can chunk it by syllables. So it can break up key moments for kids who are learning to read. How do they sound out the words more easily? It can also label the parts of speech. So it might have just turned on nouns, verbs, and adjectives, but it can also label those. I don't have adverbs. Let's make it all happy. So for the most part, it breaks the words up pretty easily with parts of speech. Some may not be 100% correct, but they can label parts of speech, again, to help chunk for, maybe they just turn on verbs to show kind of where the predicates begin in the sentence and to help them chunk ideas for comprehension. So they have those options. They also, under this book, have reading preferences. There is a line focus tool, but I want to show you on a white background because it shows up better to me there. So I'm going to go into a line focus. They can do a 1-line focus tool, just like the ruler that they typically would use. They can do 3 lines, typically. Hello, you don't like me. Anyway, they can typically do 3 lines or 5 lines. It's not cooperating at this moment. And then there is a picture dictionary brought to you by Boardmaker. So if your students with special needs have used Boardmaker, it's that same, they have an integration here. If there is a word that's easily pictured, someone turn off the line focus right now, then it will give them a picture for that. So aware, you're looking around, or observed, okay? It will pull in, and it will even pronounce that one word.
Segment.
Okay, so it'll pronounce for them. Remember, I have it on faster speed. That's what sounded funny. Exercise. I can click, there's a container. So y'all, this is amazing, amazing. Because imagine how much power that will unlock for your students who have reading struggles. It can also, now this is like worth the money here, okay? If you're a world languages teacher, just, stuff your ears with something right now. But it can also translate either by the word or by the document. I took French, so I'll at least be able to read that properly. Let me go down to French. Okay. It can translate by word, which means when I click on it, it'll translate Manon. Or it can translate the whole document. If I go back, we'll translate everything into French. And it will, I don't know if it reads in French. Let's see.
Moment clé observé dans
Yes.
Sachez que le film.
So guys, I know you cannot be in all places at once, and you can't meet every kid's. They have to have their IEP or 504 goals met. Absolutely. But if a machine can do that for you, why not let it? Can you paste a test in? Maybe they have a read aloud accommodation. Could you paste a test into Word Online? Yes, you could, and have it read to your students. You have students who are straight in an ESOL, like immersion program or something. Could you allow them to, translate and as they're learning, and then look at the original side by side? Okay. They're still interacting with the original text, but y'all, isn't this a life changer? And I've even got more. Stay around for $19.99. Just kidding. Stay tuned. I want to show you another cool thing. So guess what? I won't even charge you a separate processing and handling fee for this tip. If you have something that's not digital, it's on paper. Your students have something that's not digital on paper, but they're like, gosh, I'd really like to use all those features of Immersive Reader. Guess what? There's a free app. It's called Office Lens. I'm going to attempt to narrate over. I've never done this before, but I'm going to attempt to narrate my silent film that I took from my phone that actually shows Office Lens in action. So you're going to notice Office Lens is an orangey red in the middle of my apps right there. It is totally free. All the Microsoft apps I show you on this preview right here are totally free. You sign into one of them and it signs you into all of them. So just use your district account, or if you need a free Office 365, it's free for all educators. You can sign up for that. So anyway, without further ado, let me walk you through this video. So I'm now tapping the app. It's opening. And you'll see that I go through and capture several pages of Emily P. Freeman's book, The Next Right Thing. So if you're looking for a good decision-making guide with a Christian twist to it, you can do that. But anyway, what it does is not only is it a pocket scanner, but it also straightens and crops. So every page that I'm holding crooked, and you'll see a mess in the floor there, but that's okay. It is outlining what it thinks is the border, and then I have the option to say yes or no after I take the picture. And then I can straighten it, I can confirm it, and I'm building the same document. So I tap the white button every time to take a picture, and then if I want to keep adding to the same document, then I tap orange, and you're going to see like my number change. Like right now it says 2 on the orange, and then hopefully in a minute it'll say 3 on the orange because I'm adding to that same document. So every time I confirm and click add, it is adding to the same document. And then when I'm done, Immersive Reader is an option to export to. So I sign in, and then y'all look, this is right there on my phone. I just have a random iPhone, okay, nothing fancy. And it has all the features of Immersive Reader. So here are all the syllable tools and the picture dictionary and the line focus and the translation features. Everything that is in full Immersive Reader is right there on your phone for free. And all I did was use the Office Lens app, which is a free pocket scanner. So I think that's fabulous. I'm waiting for the video to end. And then remember, I can play it right from there. It's got the picture dictionary. I've just got a few more features that I guess I felt the urge to walk through in this video. There's the translation where I'm translating by word. I've got a picture and a translation side by side. But y'all, I think it's amazing. This is happening right on my phone. Another little hack I use Office Lens for is just if I am going to be driving in the car, I don't have an audiobook, maybe I have to finish the rest of a chapter, I can use Office Lens to capture a book I'm currently reading in maybe like 5 or 6 pages of the rest of the chapter, and then I can read it while I'm on the go. Yeah. So again, just more features in action here. Gosh, girl, you just recorded the whole thing. I guess I wanted a very thorough demo. So that's the line focus tool. That's the whole Immersive Reader in action. That was my husband opening the door to the bedroom, and so it's just about over here. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Finally, if you want to go straight to the source for case studies, tips, a downloadable PDF, all kinds of stuff that you can get, I'm going to take you right to education.microsoft.com, so just pause the video. Sorry, that was my pause face. Pause the video, scan this QR code, and you can go straight to the Microsoft Education Center and find an interactive tutorial on Immersive Reader, just everything you could possibly want to know. Hope this video was helpful, and if it is, you know what to do. I'm going to tell you on the next little slide. Hey guys, I put my heart into these videos, so I hope you loved it. I hope you've loved all of them, but if you haven't, then make sure you go back and watch the previous videos. I'm making playlists for you all the time. So if you're somebody who wants time savers, there's a playlist for that. If you want to gamify, playlist for that. And all of my themes of my blog. So did you like it? Go ahead and click the thumb below. If you really liked it, I'd love if you shared it on your favorite social media channel. I'm at Suzy Lolley on Twitter. And then finally, my very favorite is if you subscribe. Subscribe to YouTube and subscribe on the blog. Take care.